morning students. Standard 9 subject social science and chapter number 14 India location, geological structure and physiography second. Now in first video, because today's topic is that Eastern Himalaya, in first video we talk about something, we just quickly revise about it. In that we talk about what is physiography, the upper area, or you can say some landmass which are having altitude from the earth surface, it is called physiography. So on the basis of physiography of India, it is divided into 5 parts. First one is northern mountain ranges, second one is great northern plain, third one is peninsular plateau, fourth one is about the coastal plains, and fifth one is archipelagos. That definitions I given in the first video about in one line only. And in first video we talk about northern mountain ranges. Now northern mountain ranges will be where that we have discussed in that video, first video, that northern mountain ranges, here you just see that it is spread into 2400 kilometer and its width is 240 kilometer to 320 kilometer. So this Himalayan mountain ranges is starting from Afghanistan. You just see that pen of this point. Now from Afghanistan to Myanmar. So it is considered that 2400 kilometer long mountain ranges. Now apart from that, we talk about that on the basis of this long mountain ranges, the Himalaya is divided into 2 parts: northern Himalayan mountain range and eastern Himalaya. Our today's topic is eastern Himalaya, but we just recall about the what is northern Himalayan mountain range. In northern Himalayan mountain range, we talk about that 3 topics. If you remember that, in northern mountain ranges of Himalaya, they will be divided into 3 parts. It means Himalaya is not a single mountain, I already told you. So first of all, it is divided into 3 parts. It's called Greater Himalayas, Central Himalayas or Lesser Himalayas, and the last one is Outer Himalayas or Shivalik. So these are the 3 parts. In that we discuss about that. Here majority in first number 40 peaks, and here the mountain ranges is height is average 7000 meter. For example, here we talk about 2 mountain ranges. If you remember, Mount Everest 8848 meter. Then Godwin Austen K2, it is lies in India, that 8611 meters. So that here mountain ranges, you can say height is more than 700,000 meter. Then after we talk about Central Himalaya or Lesser Himalayas. Here what happened? Here the height of mountain ranges is somehow smaller than this first number. Here we talk about some mountain ranges like Pir Panjal, Mahabharat. Some hill stations also we have discussed over here like Dalhousie, Dharamsala, etc. And the last one is that Shivalik and Outer Himalayas. In that majority this all entire part is lies in our country, like here. Here what happened? The area or the surface which will be having the gravels, stone, pebbles, etc. it is called dune. So at that time we talk about 3 dunes: Dehradun, Patli Dune and Kothari Dune. So it is the first part of Himalayan mountain range, northern Himalaya. Now today's our topic is that eastern Himalaya. So look at that here, eastern Himalaya means this area. Today we will discuss about this part which is located on east side of India. So first of all, this eastern Himalaya, we can find that some hills only, because these hills are connected with the, you can say, Arkan Yona mountain ranges which is located in Myanmar. So look at that, the hills which is starting from Arunachal Pradesh, that will be connected to the hills or you can say mountain ranges which are located in Myanmar. So there will be an entire mountain ranges belt will be there. So which hills will be there in the eastern Himalayas, that we will discuss. So first one is that Patkai Hills in Arunachal Pradesh. It is a first number. Second one is about Naga Hills in Nagaland. Third one is that, so I will just show this location so you can is Naga Hills in Nagaland, so it is interconnected with Nagaland. Then third one is Lusai Hills is in Mizoram, so it is a Mizoram here. So now Lusai Hills and so Lusai Hills is located here Mizoram. Now fourth one is Garo Khasi and Jaintia. Now these hills are located in Meghalaya. Now you just see that these all hills are in a different state. You just see that Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram and Meghalaya. So these are the different states. It means that hills are interconnected to each other, and it is not stop over here. I told you that these hills are interconnected with the Arakan Yoma mountain ranges, which is located in the Myanmar also. Okay, so this is the discussion about Eastern Himalaya. But still 2 points we can more added will be over here. Here, due to a dense forest, the rainfall is, you can say, too high. Here the rainfall is around 1200 centimeter annually. In Gujarat, if we talk about, our rainfall is around 70 centimeter to 100 centimeter annually in Gujarat. But in this eastern part, or you can say seven sisters, these all states are considered as a seven sister. Here 400 centimeter to 1200 centimeter. So due to this heavy rainfall, the roads and railways are not developed here, because due to mountain ranges, hills. Okay, so flat surface they are not getting. That is why roads and railways are not developed here. It means that in these states we cannot find road and railways. That means it is not, roads and railways are not found in these states. We can find in some areas only, but the majority these areas have less developed around that roads and railways. Now students, our second topic of today's topic is that Great Northern Plain. Why it is written great, that I will tell you later also. Because Northern Plain, north side of India. Now why it is called Northern Plain? Because this will be having the mountain range, and it is located between the mountain ranges and southern peninsula. Just imagine that it is a north part of north mountain ranges and it is southern peninsula. Between that area it is called Great Northern Plain. So why it is called great? Because you cannot imagine also, this northern plain is considered that largest river plain of the world. I told you, largest river plain of the world, because in the entire world that kind of fertile land area or this plain should not be found anywhere. That is why it is called Great Northern Plain. So what will be the speciality of this? First of all, between these mountain ranges, or due to these mountain ranges, many rivers are flowing towards this side, and due to this flow of these rivers, there would be a huge sediments carry out through this flow of the water, and these sediments will be spread over this area. That is why these plains were, you can say, increasing day by day. And here the which rivers having the more sediments there flowed. So first one is that Satluj river, second one is Ganga river, and third one is Brahmaputra river. Due to these all three rivers, or you can say major rivers, this area is called plain. Now 50 meter thick, this plain is 50 meter thick. It means the thickness is 50 meter. You just imagine that I will mention over here, that 50 meter thick. Now another point about that, this plain is also spread over 2400 kilometer long area, or largest river plain of the world, because from here, from up to, you can say, Delhi or Punjab to, we can say, Odisha, this entire belt is called as Northern Plain. Now that is why it is called the largest river plain of the world. But the thing is that in the western side, you just see in the map, okay, in the western side, this plain is narrower in the sense this plain is not, you can say, expanded, but when it is moved further towards the east side, that plain is expanded too much. That is why in the eastern part we can find that plain is, you can say, more developed than the west. Now Another one is that two words I will write over here. It is called Doab. It is called now. You just see that Doab and Punjab. You heard this word because it is the name of one state of India. But what is Doab? Actually, the area which is between two rivers, it is called Doab. For example, Do means two and Ab means water. Now you just see that Do means two and Ab means water. So Doab, it means the area between two rivers. Same way, Punjab, it means the area between five rivers, or the area will be having the five rivers. That is why it is called Punjab, because in Punjab we can find that five rivers are flowing. You just see here, you might be see that many Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, these are the tributaries of Satluj, because these all rivers are passing by the Punjab. Okay, so these are the information about Great Northern Plain. On the basis of the physiography of Great Northern Plain will be divided into four parts. First one is that Bhabar. Second one is about Tarai. Third one is about Bangar. And fourth one is about Khadar. Now, Bhabar is the place between Sindhu and Tista rivers, and it is spread up to 8 to 16 kilometer wide areas. The sediments or alluvial which is brought by the Satluj river, and in that area it is called Bhabar. Now, first one, that second, Bangar and Khadar. Bangar and Khadar means what? It is an old alluvium and it is a new alluvium deposited by the rivers. So it is the entire information about the Great Northern Plain, how the plain is formed due to alluvial or sediments of the rivers which are flowing from the Himalayas like Ganga, Satluj and Brahmaputra, Yamuna, etc. So, and this is divided into four parts. Now today's other topic, Peninsular Plateau. First of all, we need to learn these two words. What is peninsula? So peninsula, you just see here, peninsula is a landmass which is connected or surrounded by three side water. It is called peninsula. And plateau means a landmass. Its, you can say, height or altitude from the land surface is around 600 to 900 meter in the shape of table. It is called plateau. So our today's new topic is peninsular plateau. It is one physiography of India. It is a third physiographic regions of India. First we have discussed Northern Mountain Range, second we have discussed right now Great Northern Plain, and third one is about Peninsular Plateau. So first of all, Peninsular Plateau, you just see here, it is an oldest region of India. Why it is called oldest region? Because it is a part of landmass. If you remember in 13th chapter or 14th chapter we discussed about that Gondwana land. India is a part of Gondwana land. Now you just see that here you can find that inverted triangle. Peninsular Plateau is in the form of inverted triangle. You just see here on the map of India, you can find that inverted triangle. Then it is a height, or you can say average height is about 600 to 900 meter from the earth surface, and it is surrounded by three side water. Here Arabian Sea is there, for example here Arabian Sea, here Bay of Bengal is there, and here Indian Ocean. That is why it is called Peninsular Plateau. Otherwise it is called only plateau, but it was surrounded by three side water, so it is called Peninsular Plateau. Now the Peninsular Plateau is divided into two parts. First, Malwa Plateau, and second is about that Deccan Plateau. So the Peninsular Plateau is divided into two parts, Malwa Plateau and Deccan Plateau. So now we talk about Malwa Plateau. What is that? First of all, where is it located? So Malwa Plateau is located here. You just see here on the Aravalli range, is situated in the northwest part of this, on this part of Malwa Plateau. Aravalli range. Aravalli is one of the oldest range in the world. Aravalli is the oldest range in the world, and you might be, if I tell you, you might have seen also that, for example, Mount Abu is the famous hill station on this range. I think so you are might familiar with this place Mount Abu. Many of the students you have visited also. So Mount Abu is the famous hill stations on this range. It is on the border of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Then Guru Shikhar is the highest peak in the and it is 1722 meters high from the earth surface. Guru Shikhar is the highest peak in the this range. Then amazing fact about we can say India also, many rivers are emerging from the mountain, or you can say almost all rivers are emerging from the mountains, and then it will be merged to the either oceans or sea or any other water bodies. Understood? But today I will tell you two rivers are there in India. They should be vanished. It means they should be dried up. They should not make to any water bodies, not either sea, gulf, or you can say oceans. Which are they? Here you just see that on the finger, Banas and Luni and Banas. These are the two rivers that will be starting from the Rajasthan, and it should be dried up into the little run of Kutch. It means that that river should not meet to the any water bodies, not either in Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean or Bay of Bengal. They should not meet to any this part. Then apart from this, there would be two rivers, Sabarmati and Mahi. That it is familiar river from Gujarat that should be made to the Gulf of Khambar here in Gulf of Khambar. These are the two rivers that meet to the Gulf of Khambar. Now students, we discussed that Malwa Plateau. Malwa Plateau is in the here you can find Rajasthan, Gujarat and some part of this Madhya Pradesh. But now we talk about Deccan Plateau. Where is it? So, okay. So first of all, Deccan Plateau is located exactly to the south side of Malwa Plateau. It means wherever the Malwa Plateau is ended, then Deccan Plateau is started. It means from Maharashtra, you can say Maharashtra to the till downside area, it is considered as a Deccan Plateau. First of all, the average height of this Deccan Plateau is 900 meter to 1000 meter. But generally, this is the average height. It means up to only few places you can find this height. Then it will be extended. It means extended. Now, for example, here the northwestern side, here you find that northwestern side, or it is called Western Ghat. Here also we can find the form of plateau. Here you just see here the western side. Okay, and that is why it should be having due to the lava deposition, this plateau was emerged. Now it has several local name also. In Deccan Plateau, there should be a several local name. For example, that Sahyadri is a local name of this plateau. Deccan Plateau is in two states, Maharashtra and Karnataka. In Maharashtra and Karnataka, these plateaus are known as Sahyadri. And for example, Nilgiri in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, this Deccan Plateau is known as Nilgiri. Apart from this, we just see that where is the exact location of Deccan Plateau? So Deccan Plateau is located to the south side of the Malwa Plateau. Even though we can say Satpura and Mahadev and Maikal ranges, these are the three ranges from where the Deccan Plateau is started. Because before these mountain ranges, there will be a part of Malwa Plateau. So it should be separated by these three ranges, Satpura, or you can say Mahadev and Maikal ranges. So here we will be having the information about Malwa and Deccan Plateau. So students, today we have discussed about that northern mountain ranges in that eastern Himalayas. Then after we talk about that Great Northern Plain. Why it is called Great Northern Plain? It is the largest river plain of the world. And then after we talk about Peninsular Plateau. There will be two plateaus, Malwa Plateau and Deccan Plateau. So I hope that you will be getting all informations in today's video, and further more informations will be getting in the form of worksheet. Thank you students.